Bearish price action on dollar index directly putting pressure on dollar yen, and as upcoming FOMC, also BOJ rate policy could create a different chemistry on dollar yen than what is happening with the dollar index. As we can see, dollar currently has expected started to be bearish. Will that be also dollar yen bearish, as there is a yen involved in it? So what we could see that weakness on yen and also weakness on dollar. So which one is weaker? That's where the question is. In this analysis, let's look at dollar yen and dollar index to see what we can expect in this market for this upcoming session and days. So starting with, first of all, dollar index to see what the market is offering, and then we will be looking at dollar yen for potential trading opportunity in this market. Highest time frame monthly chart to see overall picture in this market. So DXY, we can see that it's a long term bear market. Starting from this high here, we can see that pretty sharp drop followed by this pullback, and we can see that this is where from the monthly another bearish price action after cross of this high. We can see from the monthly perspective DXY started to trend back down. Now there is a fair value gap that you can see, which always remain bearish in that kind of situation, and we can see that DXY now crossing that threshold, feeling that imbalance and potentially coming back here to cross that low. So from the monthly we can see that it's a bear market. Now looking at the weekly chart to see what kind of price action. Now I was looking at also quite a few weeks of analysis. You guys have seen that we discuss in this market to potentially to be bearish. Now the market in fact started to move in the same way. So if we look at this move here, we can see that all of this narrow red candle except one green candle, so we can consider it as an impulse pullback, impulse potentially to break this new lower low. Therefore DXY from the weekly as well showing possible downward trend here. Now looking at daily chart on DXY, we can see the market has crossed this high with this narrow doji, which has formed a bearish engulfer followed by long wick doji. Now today's price, we can see the market from this high here started to drop again from the daily, expecting the market to trend back down here to create a new lower low in this market. So from the 4 hour perspective here on DXY, we can see that this is where the market, if you look at here, there's a head and shoulder breakdown with longer liquidity gap, longer doji here. We can see that with this head and shoulder, the market again started to trend down, which is showing that the market potentially to be remaining bearish here. And if we look at a little bigger picture in that area, what do we see? The market is maintaining series of lower high with comparatively bigger gap, showing that increased selling pressure that could lead dollar index potentially to come back to this long term support level. Therefore we can expect a downtrend in this market that could just mirror on euro dollar and British pound US dollar, while it could just reflect on dollar yen, or we could see that due to the weakness on yen, dollar might push back to the upside. Now what is likely to happen? Now from the fundamental, it's sometimes very complex to understand as how the BUJ is coming up with a plan, and also how the rate cut impacting the dollar strength on it. But from the historical perspective, as you know, that yen as a safe haven always remain bearish, and that's where we see that dollar in terms of the price action here from the technical perspective on dollar here. In this intraday perspective, we can see that there is a liquidity gap from the 4 hour. The prices crossed this dodges high, closed as a bearish pin bar, and you can see another liquidity gap. So from the technical perspective, we can see that dollar yen is currently showing that highly bearish price action with increase higher pri- uh, bearish movement here in this market. So that being said, here this is the current level of support, and also you can see another support level. I think the dollar yen may continue to drop, and the current session that we can see already creating another doji. The best zone that I will be looking at to cross any of these sessions high, entry with the cross of the sessions high, keeping stop loss at least 1.58 here above, targeting to the first level to this level, second one to that zone could be for me a good entry opportunity. We'll be looking for price action confirmation. As soon as we find suitable entry, as per we discussed, we will be looking to sell with a high probability trade setup. Traders, if you enjoy this education and analysis, make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Thank you, and I'll see you soon in my next analysis.